some stars who rarely play anything other than a magnified version of themselves on screen. And then there are others who cultivate an image that is actually far removed from their true personality. Bing Crosby was one of those performers whose stock in trade held all the cozy appeal of a pipe and a pair of warm slippers. But whether his life off-camera lived up to that image is the subject of some dispute. Bing was one of the most adored crooners of the 20th century. He paved the way for Frank Sinatra, and even contemporary stars such as Michael Bublé and Harry Connick Jr. owe much to his legacy. He found huge success in a number of media. He was an outstandingly popular recording star with his version of White Christmas, still one of the biggest-selling songs of all time. He had hit radio shows and a series of much-loved movie comedies, co-starring his friend Bob Hope, which kicked off with The Road to Singapore in 1940. He apparently overindulged in alcohol in his early years, before getting it under control. But he remained a big fan of marijuana, smoking it himself when it was still legal, and speaking out in favor of its decriminalization in the 1960s and 70s. But it was his home life that was the subject of most speculation. He was married first to Dixie Lee, who suffered from alcoholism and died from ovarian cancer in 1952. 5 years later, he married the much younger Catherine Grant, who gave him 3 children to add to the 4 sons he already had with Dixie. In 1977, he finished a round of his beloved golf and dropped dead from a massive heart attack in Spain. He was 74. But his reputation remained rosy until his eldest son Gary published a damning biography, describing his father as abusive, cold, and remote. Gary's brother Philip counteracted these claims vehemently and said his brother's only motive was greed. But by 2004, Dennis and Lindsay, Bing's 2 remaining sons from his first marriage, were also dead, allegedly both committing suicide after long histories of alcoholism, failed relationships, and mediocre careers. Perhaps Bing's legacy was just too great to live up to after all.